All right, here we are. It's Mike, and I'm back. Let's see what we got going on here. We got Eliana. Hey, glad to see you here. We got Jai Sheila Guru Mukunda Das. Right, Jai leaving Riskon, Ritvik, Gaudimat. Absolutely. And you got this. Yes, absolutely. Why is it way up there? Fake human. Oh my goodness! Look at this. This is out of control. Do the do the five. Here we are. Um, so I got a lot of stuff I want to show. Stuff I want to talk about. So we're gonna get right into it. I want to get right into the. As you can see, we're here in the desert, in the California desert, and let's get into the opening here.
Hello?
Hello.
Wow. So thanks for sticking out. Don't you just love that wheel? That wheel is great, right? It's so colorful, all the colors spinning. So I got a lot of things that I want to talk about. So I want to start off though. Um, I want to start off with knitting cult lady, and because I always start off, I always start off with knitting cult lady, and I guess you don't even really have to subscribe to her because I'm going to show you all the good stuff. No, you really should subscribe. You should subscribe to her, but if you do subscribe to her, when we get to this part of when I'm ready to show her, you're gonna say, "I've already seen this." But what can I do? For all you new people that are just getting here and you don't know, I'm going to show Knitting Coat Lady. So hey, what do we got? We got Rafal. Hey man, thanks for the videos, man. We're going to get to at least one of them in a minute. Hey, we got we got Good Rice and yeah, and Madhavi. Man. And of course, chasing after that kiwi. That's Robin George. That's the Robin George story right there. Um, they had a hot on the trail. Okay, so let's get right to it with knitting cult lady because the stuff that I want to talk about, and then it's going to lead right into knitting cult lady is going to what she has to say is going to lead right into my next thing I'm going to talk about and video, and then we're going to get into the main event. So let's get right to. Let's see, where's the knitting lady? Here she is. Hold on. And I have to say, first thing I have to say, everybody, is I'm having computer problems and I'm having thunderstorms. So if anything happens and I go out, just check back and I'll most likely I'll pop back on. I'm not saying that is going to happen, but if it does, do that. Okay, here we go. Here she is in all her knitting glory here. Let me get this out of the way. Okay.
Welcome to week 45 of the Trump administration. And oh, Bubba, is it a big one? This week, we found out that while the Republicans don't think gender is on a spectrum, they do think pedophilia is on a spectrum. And Megyn Kelly really wanted us to know that these men who were sexually assaulting young teenage children around the ages of 14 and 15 years old were not the same as people who assault actual children. Now, Megyn Kelly wasn't wrong about the definition of pedophilia. Pedophiles are people who are sexually attracted to children, and that definition is specific to prepubescent children. Why is this important? Because some of us have experienced that, and I have written about that in my book, Uncultured, about growing up in the Children of God religious cult, the pedophile cult. Now, these men that were raping children, teenage children, there was nothing going on in their brain making them do that. They were doing that because they wanted to. And there is a difference for different words. And I do think those of us that have experienced the different crimes need those words to talk about our experiences. I don't think Megyn Kelly needs to be splitting those hairs. And the way that she spoke was pretty disgusting. And the way that we are seeing MAGA attempting to justify is pretty disgusting. We are going to get back to some of the things that MAGA are attempting to justify. But for now, Marjorie Taylor Brown, I mean, Marjorie Taylor Greene has broken with Donald Trump. I told some of you all that she had had the
Okay, so she gets into MAGA because MAGA is a cult. But I don't want this to be this thing about MAGA. But this is about pedophilia, and
and the brainwashing. And what did I get told? I got told I was stupid and wrong. Okay, so please don't come to the comments saying that you don't trust her and you don't believe her. Got it. Thanks. Pretty significant that someone has broken with the MAGA Republicans to this point, to the point that Donald Trump is already going out of his way to trash her, trying on the name Marjorie Taylor Brown because he says grass rots. Just like her, had to go out of his way to clarify that for us. This is one of the cult things that he does, right? Gives his enemies nicknames so that he can try to destroy them. Trump is saying now that he wants his people to call again for the release of the Epstein files. And why is he saying that? Probably because he knows it is all now under investigation again, and so it can't be released. So he's trying to get his people to sound like the good guys. Don't worry, you all, they aren't. The president of the United States brought the Syrian president to the White House for veterans.
okay, so the thing about the pedophilia, she goes on, but I'm gonna just cut it off, and I'll just tell you, look, this is about powerful people and pedophilia, and it runs through. It's shocking, but it runs through a lot of places. So the thing is, these people want to defend this pedophilia. They want to defend it, and they will go to any lengths to defend it, and including, well, let's just say, my next, it brings me to this, as far as, let me get over here. It brings me to this, back to this guy again, this Tatva Darshan, and how, in the same way that these MAGA people are trying to defend, they're saying, well, is it really pedophilia if it's prepubescent or prepubescent, or is it teenage girls? It's not as bad. A 13-year-old or 14-year-old or 15-year-old is not as bad as a 8-year-old or a 5-year. So what she's saying is those of women that have or women and girls that have experienced this pedophilia, it's important to get the facts straight and the understanding of what it is, of what this pedophilia is. So she's saying Megyn Kelly's not wrong, but that's not the point. She's saying that's not the point, is whether she's right or wrong. It's the fact that they want to defend it. They want to defend this, and goes back. This Tatva Darshan was defended in the exact same way. He says here, Jitterati, who spent large sums to assist Tatva Darshan during his incarceration, and Mandapa Das, both buddies of Tatva Darshan, who were in Cambodia with him at the time of his arrest, along with Mahashringa Das, are principal members of the recently revamped Bhaktivedanta Eco Village Board. Tattva has neither admitted his guilt nor shown repentance. He claims he was in the Phnom Penh hotel room only for a Thai massage, which doesn't make sense. So he says here, Jidharati is adamant that Tattva Darshan is not a pedophile. Why is Jidharati denying that Tattva Darshan is a pedophile? His contention is that a person is a pedophile only if they are attracted to pre-pubescent children. The 12-year-old girl in the Phnom Penh hotel room was not pre-pubescent. Therefore, according to Jidharati, Tattva Darshan is not a pedophile. His intent to commit debauchery on a 12-year-old girl, however, does make him a pedophile. That's the law. Jidharati has been preaching to devotees recently how a girl is at her most attractive when she reaches puberty, and that the age of consent is a Western notion at odds with sex life beginning at puberty, which is Vedic. He further cites how Srila Prabhupada's wife conceived when she was 12 years old. So there is no, okay, and he even goes on. So we have been asked, how does one determine whether a man is a pedophile or not, given Jidharati's criterion, which is whether or not the girl is pre or post pubescent. So that's just, it gets more and more disgusting as it goes on. Okay, it's just, but that just shows you how it's the same defense. Megyn Kelly and Jidharati are making the exact same arguments. Jidharati's just trying to make it sound Vedic. Megyn Kelly's just trying to say, well, it's not really that bad. I mean, it wasn't like a 5-year-old. She was, 13 or 14 or 15. It's not like it's not like an 8-year. It's the same. It's the same. It's the same. It's the same. Okay, so you go, okay, well, that's Jidharati. Jidharati's making that claim and saying that it's, Tattva Darshan is not a pedophile. It goes on, and Tattva Darshan's attraction to the red light districts of Korea and notorious agencies like Bangkok and blah, blah, blah. It goes on and on and on. But then, it goes down here. It talks about the people that I was working with, this Dhamma Ghosh. He talks about how it's a great place, and Tattva Darshan's a great guy. Jidharati also. This is 2010 is when this article came out. But lo and behold, here's the guy, and he's being promoted at the Bangalore temple. And this video was just 4 days ago. This is 4 days.
Now you have to understand why. On your request to stay and finish the Bhagavatam, I will stay.
They closed out the temple, and where did Shankarbrit and all the people go?
And look, I found this box in the closet. I showed him. It's a certificate of ISKCON of Karnataka.
It's not Bull Temple. Hare Krishna Road is near the Racecourse Road.
Madhu Pandit joined. I recommended him for initiation. Kanchalapati, I recommended him. Either this man goes or I go.
Now we are in...
They want people to listen to this guy, take instructions from this guy. This guy who likes to go to Phnom Penh and hang out with 12-year-old girls and get Thai massages from 12-year-old girls. He might as well be going to Epstein Island. And you want people to listen to him? You're making videos and people should be listening to this guy as if he's some kind of a holy man? He's sitting there like he's a holy man, this guy?
And now when you see this
guy's a holy man?
colossal list on
You gotta be
Bangalore
fucking kidding
winning
me.
the Supreme Court verdict.
Like this is guns like that, battle
This
with
guy-
Diaram and Gundas.
This guy who's had allegations, he's been to jail, he was convicted. Okay, there's no question about what he did. He was convicted by a court in Cambodia and sentenced to jail, and he was in jail. And these Ritvik guys got him out, and now he's preaching at their Ritvik temple. This guy, the Jitterati said, oh, he's not a pedophile because the girl was 12. The girl was 12. He's admitting the girl was 12. He's just saying that there's nothing wrong with that. Or if there is something wrong with it, it's not that bad. It's like Megyn Kelly. That's no big deal. It's not like she was 5. They want people on the internet to listen to this guy?
Things.
Post 82, from when Madhu Pandit Prabhu took over, from that chaos, it became systematic.
I was there when he took sannyas. He took sannyas from all 11.
Who gives a fuck he was there? Who cares what this fucker has to say? This guy's a fucking pedophile. These people are sick. These people are goddamn sick. These Ritviks. Got this guy on YouTube. They're promoting this guy. They want everybody to listen to him, listen to what he has to say. Guy who was kicked out of ISKCON, he was kicked out of ISKCON. ISKCON said, we don't want you around. Too many people have accused you of too many things. Although they didn't want to call the police on him or nothing. They don't want him to go to jail or anything. But they just said, get away. We don't want you around. You got to leave. We don't want you in ISKCON. It's too many people speaking out against this guy. Then he ends up in jail. And the Ritviks go and get him out. Now he's buddy with Madhu Pandit. The fuck is wrong with these Hare Krishnas, man? They got pedophilia in their blood. In their fucking books. That's what I'm saying. It's in their books. They're gonna yell and scream up and down that it ain't that bad. They got this. ISKCON is like friggin' Epstein Island with their child marriage and a human trafficking, taking kids across borders, marrying them off, raping them and taking them off. Parents abandoning their kids to this friggin' cool crap because some Indian fuck says in his books. Makes up some story about, long time ago in the ancient times. A fucking bunch of bullshit. Man, I can't believe, I know him personally, spent time there on several occasions along with Hugh Turvey. Talbot is one of the creepiest people I ever met. Arrogant psychopath. You can tell that just from looking at. I don't know, man. I can look at the guy and go, that ain't no friggin' holy man. First of all, ain't no such thing as a holy man. What? You're an expert at friggin' stories. You're an expert at stories, and that makes you a holy man? Holy? Like you got some special power? Like you can, because you make some little campfire thing and put some wood and some some butter and oil, whatever the fuck in your little pieces of wood, and you chant some things that you got some special power, demigods are coming. The fuck? But this shit can't stop. All this crap can't stop you guys from fucking touching little kids. It just can't. And I know because my daughter was 11. She was 11. She wasn't 15. She wasn't 16. She wasn't 17. She was 11. Nobody tell me I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Tell me I don't know what's in these books. I don't know what Prabhupada says. If there's one goddamn thing I know about on this fucking planet, it's Prabhupada and his fucking books. I don't need nobody telling me, oh, where does it say that? Oh, what quote does that say? Where? What book did, when did Prabhupada say that? Fuck you. If you don't know, then you're fucking stupid. I don't say nothing that Prabhupada said that I ain't seen it in the fucking Veda base. The Pontiac regular, yeah. A lot of these guys are. All these fucking Guru Kripa and Bhakta Das and all these fucking old Prabhupada disciples and gurus, they love to come to Pattaya, come to Bangkok, go to Soy Cowboy and Walking Street and all this shit. Because they shit don't work. They're just normal people. They're just normal fucking people. They ain't no holy man. And for a normal person, that's fine. Ain't no problem with anyone doing any of these things that they do if they're just a normal guy. But if you're pretending to be a holy man and you're scamming people and you're scamming them and telling them all the shit that they can't do and all the shit that you pretend that you don't do, and meanwhile you're scooting off to Pattaya, scooting off to Phnom Penh, scooting off to Bangkok, scooting off to friggin' wherever it is in Tokyo, well, all these fucking places, Amsterdam, whatever the fuck they want to go. Then that makes you a scam. That makes you a scammer. There's nothing wrong with going to these places if you're just a normal friggin' person. Nobody cares. No one's gonna talk shit about you. But when you're posing as a guru and you're in the friggin' parampara and you're friggin' this and you're friggin' that, and then you get caught on Soy Cowboy with a couple of bar girls, yeah, now we got a problem. Now you've been exposed as the scam that you are, at the fraud that you are. Me, on the other hand, I ain't pretending to be nobody. So you catch me down on Walking Street or on Soy Cowboy, big fucking deal. I ain't asking you to drink my foot bath water or friggin' anything. That's the difference. If you want to go do those things, just go do those things. Why you gotta fucking pretend you're a holy man and then go do those things? Just go do those things and nobody gives a fuck. No, I gotta be Mr. Holy Man and then go sneak off and get a Thai massage in a hotel with a 12-year-old girl. Well, you shouldn't be with a 12-year-old girl anyway, but you wanted to go do, why can't you get a grown woman? There are grown women that'll do everything you want them to do. Why you gotta go for an 11 or 12-year-old girl? Because Prabhupada's telling you that's... Why? That's another thing. I can go to Soy Cowboy, I can go to Walking Street, I can go wherever I want. I can get a grown woman if I want to go get a Thai massage. I don't need a 12-year-old or an 11-year-old girl. What the fuck is wrong with these freaks? They got to run off to Epstein Island. They ain't going to do that in front of anybody. He's going to run off to Phnom Penh and go off in the jungle in a hotel somewhere where no one's going to catch him. They're like, even Ramananda Roy had the sense to go off to a secluded place. He took them off. He took the two young girls off to a secluded place. Even he had a sense to do that. Holy man. Fucking holy man. He's got some fucking special powers or something. A long time ago, a land far away, there lived a huge king. I know, man. I remember the first time I was reading, or someone was reading Krishna book to me, and it started off, once upon a time. I said, what? Once upon a time? You're reading some ancient scripture that is like a spiritual understanding of the whole universe and everything, and you're going to sit there and tell me once upon a time? Once upon a time? What is it, Mother Goose? If I want once upon a time, I go read The Hobbit. I gotta read Lord of the Rings if I want to hear once upon a time. Hey, Hayden Erickson, great to see you here. Glad you could join us. And man, Eliana, I'm glad you're here. What? Oh, blind faith, the pull exorcism from a foreign culture lifestyle, and being in a cult is what deluded many who might be innocent or had pulled these groups. It's disgusting that they claim they are holy. I know, why do you have to claim to be holy? Like, I can go to college, I can go take a college course, and the guy's an instructor, and he knows more about whatever it is that you're studying. He knows more. Maybe he doesn't know everything, but he knows more. Why do you? I don't have to worship this person. He's just an instructor. He's just going to teach me something I don't know. Why has he got to be a guru and have to have some special knowledge that's coming down from some? Well, what, you know stories better than me? Well, I have a degree in what? You have a degree in the Bible. You have a degree in Sanskrit, in scriptures. You have a degree in stories. You have a degree in stories? Come on, you have a degree in, that's like someone telling me, I got a degree in Mother Goose. Okay, great. You know a lot about Mother Goose. And hey, granted, I might not know a whole lot about Mother Goose, but you know what? I can live my whole life and I don't really need a whole lot of Mother Goose or Grimm's fairy tale. I don't need a whole lot of that in my life. And you're an expert at that? And you want me to think you're special because you're an expert at Mother Goose? Meanwhile, all you experts not everyone, come on, not everyone, but enough of you. There's so many of you guys that are just like this other guy. There are so many of these guys.
That ain't ecstasy.
There are so many of these guys. Why would I listen to you? Dr. Fables. Why would I listen to Dr. Fables? Why would I listen to you? When your shit creates this. Your bullshit creates these people. Why would I listen to you? You churn these guys out like friggin', like Willy Wonka creates friggin' candy bars. It's a friggin' factory of these guys. It's a factory of these guys. I can't, you know what? I can't trying to memorize the list of these guys is like trying to memorize pi. It goes on forever. The names go on for I get 3 or 4. I get 3 or 4 from the old days. It's like trying to remember home run. The home run champions. You can go back. You can go back a few, but then you can't. Those old timers, you can't. You get to Hank Aaron and back Babe Ruth. You can't remember a bunch of I can't remember everybody that's on this list of these friggin' pedophiles. There's too goddamn many of them. But this shit's supposed to work. This shit's supposed to work. All this friggin' stuff on your face and beads around your neck and chanting and this and that and lectures and all this crap, and it don't work. Meanwhile, the friggin' pedophile epidemic. It's so bad, they gotta say, well, at least she wasn't 11. At least she wasn't 9. That's how bad it is. That's how bad it is. You guys want credit for just sticking with the 12-year-olds and not messing with the 11. Fucking bullshit. All right. 16 reasons why Hare Krishna makes no sense. Now, this video is actually, I got issues with this video because this video is about Hinduism. But it's not really about Hinduism. It's about Hare Krishna. But I think they're hiding it. I think whoever made this is an AI video, okay? It's all AI video and probably written by AI. So I think they got confused when they were talking about Hinduism and Hare Krishna. This is really a video about Hare Krishna, but they say Hindu, but I'm going to correct it and say, no, this is not. Hinduism is too big. There's too much other stuff going on. This is about Hare Krishna. And so that's the mistake that they made on this video here.
Welcome to Logic Over Faith. Hinduism is often presented as one of the oldest and deepest belief systems on Earth. But when we look at it with reason and everyday logic, things begin to fall apart. People are told that this ancient system must contain universal truth simply because it is old. But age alone does not turn a belief into reality. Old ideas can be wrong for thousands of years. What matters is whether the claims match the world we live in.
Okay, and that's what I'm saying. They tell me, they want you to believe, well, this is an ancient tradition. First of all, it's not ancient tradition. But even if it was an ancient tradition, that just gives me more reason to question it and doubt it and ultimately reject it. It's not a reason for me to say, oh, it's the most ancient, 5,000 years old. Oh, my goodness, that makes it so special. No, it doesn't make it special.
When we look closely at Hindu beliefs, stories, rituals, and ideas about morality and the universe, it becomes clear that many things do not line up with reason or evidence. Many of these ideas clash with basic facts and everyday experience, yet they are still followed by millions of people who never question them. One of the main claims in Hinduism is that every person is born into a fixed caste because of actions from some previous life. This idea says that a child deserves to be born into poverty or a low caste because of something the child supposedly did in a life that nobody remembers. This claim is impossible to test or verify. Nobody remembers past lives. Nobody can check evidence of such events. Yet this single idea has justified centuries of discrimination. People in the lowest caste are told that their suffering is their own fault, even when they were only children. This does not make sense morally or logically.
So this is the Hare Krishna belief. This is the belief, and this is how they pretty much excuse away or relieve themselves of any guilt or anything of their child abuse in their. Whoops! Look at that to me. Of their child abuse in their, because it's karma. It's the kid's karma. So they don't care that their kids were molested or abused or the Gurukula, whatever happened in the Gurukula. It's their karma. And actually, because it's their karma, they should be happy that happened, because now that karma, it's fucking disgusting. It's friggin' disgusting.
If a belief system teaches that a person deserves punishment for something they do not remember and cannot defend themselves against, then that system has a serious flaw.
That's what I'm saying. It's a serious flaw. And not all Hindus believe every single thing that it says. Not every Hindu believes everything it says in this video. You don't have to believe a lot of this stuff to be Hindu, but every Hare Krishna believes everything in this video. That's what I'm trying to say. Not every Hindu believes this, so this is misleading that it says why Hinduism makes no sense. But this is why Hare Krishna makes no sense.
Another strange claim is the idea that animals or objects can be sacred or holy because a god lived inside them at some point. For example, the idea that the cow is sacred. People are told that the cow must not be harmed because some divine being once rode a cow or favored cows. But when we think about this, the logic breaks. If a god lived inside a simple animal, then why not protect all animals equally? Why is the cow holy but not the goat, or the buffalo, or the chicken? The answer is usually cultural tradition, not divine truth. People raised with a belief often feel it emotionally, even if it makes no logical sense. The belief in multiple gods with human-like weaknesses.
So the most logical explanation as to why the cow is sacred is that these people, whoever it was that started that idea, agriculturally, they had cows and they were not killing them for meat. They were just using them for milk and breeding them for milk. And that was part of their culture, was that they didn't kill these cows. It's not that there was some god connected with this or some god, whatever story. No, it was just that they weren't eating these cows. Maybe they weren't eating any animals at that time. But somehow it got intertwined, and because it happened so long ago, we really don't know. We really don't have the answer. But we can make up stories to explain it if we want.
Also raises questions. Hindu texts describe gods who fight each other, become jealous, lose control, marry many partners, and sometimes act more like characters from fantasy stories than divine beings.
Astonishingly, the system generates high-end e-learning that we would previously charge our clients $25,000 for.
Some gods even engage in acts that would be considered immoral today. These stories were written by humans in ancient times who imagined gods in their own image. When we see gods acting with confusion or anger or desire, it becomes clear that these are not perfect beings. They are more like characters created by writers who wanted to teach cultural values or entertain followers. Another confusing part of Hindu belief is the idea that the universe goes through endless cycles of destruction and rebirth. These cycles last billions of years, but they were described at a time when nobody knew the true age of the universe.
Again, I don't like that this video wants to paint all of Hinduism as being part of this, but I definitely make the cult of Hare Krishna it covers everything that is being said.
Followers see this as proof of divine knowledge, but there is no real match with scientific facts. The descriptions are vague and symbolic, not precise or predictive. Anyone can guess that the universe goes through some kind of cycle, but that does not prove a religion is true. Many ancient cultures imagined repeating cycles in nature. It was a poetic way to describe the world, not scientific evidence. There is also the belief in sacred rivers. The Ganges is considered purifying, even though modern science shows the river is filled with pollution, industrial waste, and untreated sewage. People still believe that bathing in the river washes away sins. The claim is spiritual, but the physical reality is completely different. The river does not remove moral mistakes. It removes nothing except some dirt from the skin, and even that is questionable given the water quality. If something cannot clean the body, then it cannot clean the soul either. This shows how belief can override common sense. Then we have the idea of gods with many arms or many heads. These images are symbolic, but many followers take them literally.
So there, he says, these images are symbolic. So he recognizes, whoever wrote this, recognizes that these symbols and these things are they represent something. Not everybody in the religion has to believe that the literal meaning or take these things in the literal sense that Prabhupada in his books demands. He says over and over. There's even a lot of Hindu visitors that come and talk with Prabhupada. This is what I know because I read it in Prabhupada's. I read it in the Veda base. I've read it in Prabhupada's books. I've read it. I've seen it in the videos. A lot of Hindus would come to Prabhupada, other religious leaders or doctors or lawyers or whatever, and they know they were Hindus, and they would ask Prabhupada. And there's many occasions where they ask Prabhupada, do we have to take these stories literally? Because they knew that these stories that you can't take some of these things, a lot of these things, almost all of it. You can't take it literally. You just can't. So they asked him, do we have to take these things literally? Because, I can accept the symbolism and the messages, but, to take these things literally or historically. And Prabhupada said, no, it has to be taken literally, historically. Not figuratively, not as a literary device, not as some grand poetry or some oral story mythology. He states that over and over, that these things must be taken literally. Every word has to be just taken as literal truth. Even the demon head eating the moon. So it's not that every Hindu has to accept everything because they didn't. And that's why Prabhupada was so adamant about his books, his teachings, his purports, his Krishna book, his Easy Journey to Other Planets, all of his books. Prabhupada is giving the right information.
A real being with 8 arms lives somewhere in another realm. If we think clearly, we know that a creature with multiple heads or dozens of arms would not survive in any natural environment. The heart, brain, and nervous system would collapse under such a structure. Such beings break all rules of biology. They exist only in imagination. The belief in karma is another concept that sounds nice at first but falls apart when examined closely. Karma says that every action will bring a matching reaction. Good actions bring good results, and bad actions bring bad results. The problem is that real life does not show this pattern. Many cruel people live very comfortable lives, and many kind people suffer from illness, poverty, and hardship.
So that's an interesting statement because he's right, but it goes even farther with what Prabhupada says in his books. Because not only does karma in the basic sense of the word that most people just accept it as karma, that falls apart. It doesn't work. Just like you said, there's too much inequality. There's too many bad people live good lives. Too many good people live bad, whatever. So that whole idea just doesn't fly. What to speak of Prabhupada, where he takes it even farther and says transcendental knowledge and devotional service is beyond karma, where all of these things, where there's a whole, that's even because if the concept of karma falls apart, then Prabhupada's idea that there's something that's beyond karma, that burns up your karma, that all of it all falls apart. Absolutely. Beef steaks, burgers, and chilies. Yep, sounds good to me. Yep. Oh man, that burger looks good. With my left hand. I eat my burger with my left hand. I really don't though. I don't. That's still part of me that I mean, I do, but my right hand is my dominant hand, and especially when it comes to food, and it's still a weird thing.
Real life is messy and random. People want the world to feel fair, so they accept karma as a comforting idea. But comfort does not make something true. If karma operated the way it is taught, we would see consistent justice in the world, but we do not. Reincarnation also raises many problems. If souls keep moving from life to life, Why does the world population continue to grow? Where do the new souls come from? If souls can move into animals, why are there more humans now than ever before? The math does not add up. This belief also encourages people to accept suffering instead of changing their circumstances because they are told that everything happens for a spirit.
Right. Accept suffering. And Hare Krishna definitely wants you to accept your suffering as karma, and that we should embrace difficulties because we stay focused on the Lord, and just like this. And when we become happy, we forget the Lord. When good things happen, we forget the Lord. But when we're suffering, we always remember Him. This is a bunch of bullshit.
Reason. This creates passive thinking and prevents social progress. Many rituals in Hinduism are based on the belief that gods watch human actions closely and reward or punish them for following rules. People break coconuts to please gods, avoid eating onions on certain days, ring bells in temples, perform long ceremonies, or chant verses that they often do not understand. The idea is that these acts influence the universe in some mysterious way.
Now, again, I think that a lot of people can do something as a cultural event or as a religious event and not think that it's part of a magical mystery tour. It's just part of what we do. You know, we get down and we do the sign of the cross. You know, we kneel and we do the sign of the cross when we go in the church, or you know, we put the holy water on our head. Whatever it is that we do. And I don't think that everybody that performs these types of things thinks that it's a part of a magical mystery thing that's going to influence the universe in some way. Getting the ashes on my forehead on Ash Wednesday, or whatever someone from another religion does, you know, that's going to be, that there's some superpower in that event. But of course, Hare Krishna's, it's all superstition. It's every bit superstition. Even though you don't see anything, you don't ever see any results from anything ever happening. I remember a statement that every time devotees clap their hands during kirtan, karma changes mysteriously to the degree of one's lines on the hands changes. No, I heard, well, that might be, okay, someone made that statement. So the statement that I heard, what I heard, and I think it's in Prabhupada's books, that every time you clap during kirtan, karma is just you're shedding karma, kind of like you're shedding karma. So, but yeah, I guess that's the same thing. Karma changes mysteriously to the degree of lines on the. Yeah, humility on steroids with a burger.
But think about this. If a god needs a coconut to be broken, or a specific chant to be repeated, is that really a god?
Introducing ACM Open.
Another commercial.
ACM's transformative open access.
Why would a powerful cosmic being
I want to hear
care
that
about
again.
small
I'm sorry, I want to hear that
rituals?
again.
Is that really? But think about this. If a god needs a coconut to be broken, or a specific chant to be repeated, is that really a god? Why would a powerful cosmic being care about small rituals? Why would a creator of the entire universe need food, flowers, lamps, or chants before helping someone? These beliefs look more like human traditions than divine instructions.
See, I really think that this was meant to be a knock at Hare Krishna, because it's almost they keep saying Hindu, but really, man, this is like someone's got it out for the Hare Krishnas. That's what I think.
Hindu mythology is filled with hundreds of supernatural events, yet none of them can be tested or verified. People still believe that a god turned into a fish to save the world, or that another god lifted a mountain with one hand, or that a hero flew in the sky on a chariot powered by divine energy. These stories resemble legends found in every ancient culture. They were written at a time when people did not understand natural forces. Instead of science, They use stories. Instead of physics, they used imagination. The stories may be entertaining, but they are not evidence. Another idea that makes no sense is the belief that prayer or rituals can change someone's destiny. If destiny is fixed from actions in previous lives, then how can a ritual change it? The belief system contradicts itself. If everything is fixed by karma, then rituals should be useless. And if rituals can change destiny, then karma has no real power. Both ideas cannot be true at the same time.
So absolutely, and that's what I was saying before about if this chanting, even if this chanting was even if it did even a fraction of what they say, how powerful it is, the power of the holy name and this and the disciplic succession and Prabhupada's books, and it can do all of these things, then why all of these problems? Why so much pedophilia? Why do you have people, not only people abusing little kids and abusing women and have all these weird racist, sexist beliefs, but then you have people that are defending that. People that can't tell the bad people to go away. Like the guy, like Todd Vadarshan. It's bad enough that you got Todd Vadarshan, but why do you have so many people that tolerate him? Can't tell me they don't know. You can't tell me they don't know. You can't tell me Madhu Pandit doesn't know about Todd Vadarshan. You can't tell me. Everybody knows. And if Madhu Pandit doesn't know, well, then why doesn't he know? He just promotes people he doesn't know. I mean, none of it makes sense. It's all a bunch of bullshit. And if this holy name is so strong and these guys got all the juice and all the power, then how come I got to pray for them? When Jayapataka has some problem, how come his disciples got to pray for him? I thought that his feet, washing his feet, wait, I wash his feet, I got to drink his foot water. But when something happens to him, I got to pray for him? Well, what the fuck am I drinking his foot water for? If he needs my prayer, maybe he should be drinking my goddamn foot water. I'm drinking his foot water, but when he goes in the hospital, I gotta fucking pray for him? Like my prayer can do something? Like he's got all this he's a Swami. He's supposed to be blessing everybody with his foot water. But when he goes in the hospital, all of a sudden I gotta pray for him. My stupid little prayer. My stupid little nothing peon ass prayer. He don't give a shit about me until he goes in the hospital and he needs my prayer to help him get through his friggin' operation, his open, whatever the fuck's happening to him. Now he needs my prayer. I want all my disciples to pray for me. Meanwhile, you don't give a fuck about your disciples except how much money they give you. And you're supposed to have all this power, and you're the disciplic succession, and you're the sampradaya this and the acharya that, and you got the special name, Jaya Bhakti, Jaya Pataka, whatever, Swami, whatever, Maharaj, Gurudev, and everyone's Jai Gurudev. But something happens to you, all of a sudden you need our prayers. Oh, now you need my prayer. Or you just say that you don't really need our prayers because you know it's a bunch of bullshit and our prayers don't do shit for you. You're the one who's saving us, or are we saving you? Which is it? Fat fuck? Fat fucking scamming piece of shit? Are you go in the hospital, are we supposed to pray for you? We're saving you now? We're sending you back, so we're praying so you can go back to God? That's fucking bullshit. Jaya Ganapati. Hey, great to see you here, man. I'm glad you came back. I was just ranting and raving.
Yet both are taught together as if there is no conflict. Hindu astrology also plays a major role in people's lives. Millions of people believe that the position of stars at the time of birth controls personality and future events. But stars are massive burning spheres millions of light years away. Their position relative to Earth has no effect on human behavior. No scientific experiment has ever shown a link between astrology and real events. Yet many people arrange marriages, start businesses, or even avoid certain days because of astrological charts, creating unnecessary fear and superstition. Some Hindu practices promote inequality by claiming that spiritual purity depends on birth, gender, or skin color. Lighter skin has been associated with purity in many parts of South Asia due to
It's been 50 years since I left. Still need your classes. Yeah. Hey, I'm glad I'm glad you got out and you stayed out, because I hate it when I see people that have been out and then they go back. They go back. Yeah, I'm glad you're here, and you've been out 50 years, so you know everything I'm talking about. You know better than me, probably. I don't know. I don't know how long you were in it, but if you've been out for 50 years, you couldn't have been in it. You couldn't have been in it more than 10. I guess I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, I need these classes. I need these classes, man. Yeah, the foot water, man. The foot water. What a friggin' scam. You know what? Let me go back there. What a friggin' scam. These guys are like, you got to drink. You drink my foot water, man, and that's gonna do something for you. That's gonna give you liberation. That's gonna guarantee you a birth. I don't know what they tell you when you got to drink that water. But when they tell you to drink that water, but evidently that water is supposed to be powerful, and it's supposed to take your karma and give you superpowers and make you transcendental and whatever the fuck it's supposed to do. All that water, that foot water is so powerful, it does all that. But when he goes in the hospital, when he has a heart attack or he has something happens and he goes in the hospital, now I got to pray for him. Why don't you just take some of that goddamn foot water and just splash it in his face if it's so powerful? If his foot water can do all that for me, maybe he should just fucking drink it himself. Why doesn't he do that? Why doesn't he just drink his own goddamn foot water when he's feeling sick? No, because it's a bunch of bullshit. He knows it's a bunch of bullshit. Scamming these people, scamming the friggin' hot lips, thinking that this Gorahari is doing something. They're no different. Gorahari, Jayapataka, it's the same fucking scam. Jayapataka is telling his people that he's taking them back to Godhead. Gorahari's telling his people he's sending them back to friggin' the Go Planet and friggin' Goloka Vrindavan, whatever. Gorahari, I'm giving you transcendental, I'm giving you the special, I'm giving you the good rice. That's probably fucking Gorahari's thing is, I'm giving you the good rice. I'm giving you Lord Chaitanya. I'm giving you Lord Chaitanya right from the source. He's so fucking full of shit. I was watching him the other day. Maya is the generous, wholehearted desire to enjoy a great nation without the urge to create one. Whatever. I like that better than Prabhupada's definition, I guess. I don't know. Guy blowing his nose, man. You know what? Is he online right now? We should watch him. That's what we should do. I don't know. Should we watch some more of this Hinduism stuff? I guess we didn't get to all 16. I don't want to cheat anybody. Anybody who was like, "Hey, I wanted all 16. I wanted all 16 reasons," and you only gave me 9. You only gave me 9 reasons. Let me see.
Ancient texts and myths. Women are told that they must obey husbands and fathers because it is divinely ordained. These beliefs harm society and limit human potential. When a belief system puts people into boxes and claims it is part of cosmic order, it stops progress and creates cycles of injustice. Another issue is the belief that suffering is a lesson from previous lives. If someone has a disability or disease, people may say that it is due to karma. This creates a lack of empathy. Instead of helping the person, the belief encourages people to think the person deserves the suffering. This mindset becomes dangerous because it normalizes injustice. Many Hindu beliefs also claim that the universe is controlled by cosmic energies that respond to rituals. People are told that the movement of planets, the rhythm of nature, and even personal events are shaped by invisible forces that can be influenced through ceremonies. But if nature followed ritual rules, then the world would not be consistent. Gravity would change based on prayers. Weather would change based on chants. Diseases would disappear because millions of people pray. Yet none of this happens. Many Hindu teachings also claim.
So this is what I'm saying, and I'm not knocking Hinduism. But this applies to Hare Krishnas. These Hare Krishnas, they think that these gurus think that they're giving some kind of special power, some kind of special knowledge, some kind of special something. Even this pod guy, when Hare Krishna, when devotees get sick, they get older and they get dementia, or they get diagnosed with some kind of disease, cancer, or whatever it is, which everyone gets. He wants to use that as some kind of sign that this person is bad, that this guru got this disease, or this person got that disease, or why are there so many people getting cancer in the Hare Krishna? Why are devotees dying of cancer? Why are so many devotees dying of this and dying of that? Because people die of stuff. You fucking freak. You think that they think that it's like that it's some kind of karmic reaction. Well, you know what? Everyone's going to get sick and something's going to happen to them. Not everything is a magical mystery, transcendental magical mystery tour. It's freaking insanity. Gaurahari goes with his followers to Sri Snataloka planet. He's just as bad as all these other scammers. He's just as bad as all these other scammers. And he might think, and people might think that he's not as dangerous, he's doing the same kind of damage as these other guys are. 100%. 100%. I heard him the other night. He tells them the same crap. I'm taking you straight to the highest levels, and I've got this and I've got that, and these other people can't give you this, and these other people can't give you that, and only I got this. He's got them deluded, just like Dave Amrita's got his people deluded. It's just that Dave Amrita and Radhanath and these guys, they got a built-in audience. They got a whole institution funneling people to them. Where Gaurahari is just, he's just out there just flipping out. But he's just high on his own supply. He's high on being the guru. He ain't saying nothing to nobody. Well, just like these other guys aren't saying anything to anybody. He is no different. He's scamming them the exact same as these. Hare, freaky. Yeah, hey, 7720. Good to see you here, man. I'm glad to see you stop by. Let me get some more of this. Oh, what happened? There we go.
Gods can appear in any form to test their followers. This idea becomes a blanket explanation that stops people from questioning any story. If a god can take any shape, then every unusual event can be explained as divine action. A shadow in the night becomes a god. A dream becomes a message. A coincidence becomes a sign. Once this thinking begins, the mind stops asking for evidence and starts accepting
a dream becomes a message. It's like, yeah, Gaurahari had a dream that probably came to him, and now he's a guru because he had a dream. I have a dream. I have a dream. What are you saying here? Gaurahari is burnt out from all the sanghas in the Hare Krishnas, yet still thinks his nonsense is real. Now he is trying to get to Mahaprabhu himself, and he is the guru. Yeah, well, I think he's been doing this for a while, because I remember a long time ago, people were talking about him, and I did not know who he was. And people were already talking about him, and he was making followers, and he's been doing this a long ass time. I had no idea. It's unreal how much brain damage this religion causes its followers. It is, and people like Guru Hare are doing the same thing. Transcendental bullshit. It's transcendental bullshit, man. It is, and it's, and if it was harmless, nobody would care. But it's not. This is harmful stuff. And we got Leonardo. Hey, Leonardo. Hey, good to see you here. I hope you found the right place. Hey, found you from the subreddit. Hey, well, I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're here, and enjoy enjoy what we're doing here.
Is truth. When a belief system removes the need for proof, anything can be declared sacred, and people can be made to believe anything. Another common belief is that holy books are perfect and timeless. But when we examine them honestly, we find contradictions, outdated ideas, and moral rules that no longer fit modern society. The texts were written thousands of years ago in a time without science, democracy, or human rights. People did not understand disease, weather, biology, or even basic physics. They explained the world through myths. Yet modern believers insist that these ancient texts contain ultimate truth. When we hold any ancient text as perfect.
So, yeah, and that applies to Hare Krishnas. Not every Hindu, I'm not bashing Hinduism here. I just want to make that clear one more time. I'm not bashing Hinduism because not every Hindu believes these things. It believes in these ways. You can be a Hindu and you can have a whole variety of different concepts and thoughts and beliefs, and accepting different scriptures and pick and choose what you want and go whatever. But Hare Krishna, just about everything that applies, you have to accept these books as perfect. You have to accept these scriptures as perfect. You have to accept this man as a holy man. You have to accept this place as a holy place. You have to accept this and that. And it's not, there's no question. That's the difference between a cult and just having a religion, where religion just gives you a worldview. That the world is this way, with this type of hierarchy, this type of whatever. Where a cult is a group with certain set of rules and beliefs, whether it's a mission, transcendental mission, or the transcendent mission, transcendental mission, a lot of things. There's a lot of things going on. But I caught this. What does it say here? About Guru Hare. He always wanted to be a guru. Yeah, Guru Hare reminds me of my friend Radhakunda. Guru Hare reminds me of my friend Radhakunda, although Guru Hare doesn't seem as well, he does. He reminds me of my friend Radhakunda. I'm going to leave it at that. Radhakunda was a shady motherfucker. He was a shady guy. But he was he was a shady guy, but he was a nice guy. He was my friend. I mean, I don't know. It's weird. And Guru Hare reminds me of my friend. He couldn't stand Narayan Maharaj. Yeah, because Guru Hare, like my friend Radhakund, he wants to be a guru, and he wants to be the holy man. He doesn't want to put in the work to be the holy man, because it's not real. So why do you want to put in the work to do something that's not real when I can just pretend to be the holy man, because it's not real anyway? So we're all just pretending. So why should I pretend 100% to be something that's fake when I can fake it to be the fake? That makes sense. Of course it makes sense. Why should I put in all the work to do something that's bogus when I can just be bogus? Well, Radhakund didn't have to. He could be just a normal guy for 4 days of the week, and then you could be a Hare Krishna for 3 days a week, and he was totally fine with that. I'll smoke cigarettes and do this, and I'll do a little bit of that, and I'll do a little bit of this. But then, you know, on Sunday I'm going to go to the temple and I'm going to give a lecture, and on Saturday I'm going to go out and do Harinam, and I'm going to act like because I'm a Prabhupada disciple, and I'm going to scam everybody. So so I'm going to be 50-50. I'm going to be 50-50 Swami. So I'll be Robert Wadlow Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. But then Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I'm going to be Radhakunda Das. Or Gaurahari's like, I'm just going to be Gaurahari all the time, but I'm not going to follow anything. Like, why do I have to follow anything? I don't have to dress up. I don't have to dress up. I can just be, you know, I got my microphone and I got my Zoom and I can just, you know, because I'm faking it anyway. Like Hridayananda, I'm already faking it. Then why should I dress up? Why should I dress up like a Swami when I can just put on my favorite polo shirt and pair of friggin' khaki shorts and my flip-flops, go hang out in Santa Monica? I can go do that. And I'm still HD Goswami, you know, I'm still Harvard dumbass Goswami, because, you know, I went to Harvard and everything, but I still think there's a demon head eating the moon. But, you know, I went to Harvard, so, you know, you got to respect me. I'm not like those other guys. I went to Harvard. I'm not like Brian Tibbetts and Hugh Turvey and you know, these other guys. What did they ever do? I went to Harvard. I got a degree in this stuff. It's not like I'm just like some guy with a turban on my head and sitting in a fucking hut somewhere. I'm HD Goswami. I'm Harvard dumbass Goswami. I know stuff. Don't ask me what I know because I can't tell you, but I know stuff. I'm HD Goswami. So he wants to be Swami. He wants to be HD Goswami, but he doesn't want to put on a kurta and do the whole thing. He didn't want to do all that because, you know, he went to Harvard. So Harvard taught him that he didn't need to do that. That's what he learned at Harvard. He learned at Harvard that, hey, you don't have to do all that. You can just, you know, you can just play the piano and, you know, you can play a little jazz piano. That's always fun. And, you know, and you can sit in your house in Beverly Hills and, you know, and have your disciples can come over and they can cook you lunch and, you know, can even sing to you when it's your birthday. And, you know, and that's all you got to do. And it's just rake in the money. Just count the money. That's all you got to do. Count the money. You get you know, your donations, all your donations and your free labor and, you know, whatever you need. And you already got a house in Beverly Hills, so you don't really need a whole lot. I paid my way through Harvard, so, you know, that cost a bit. So, you know, I'm good there. Every one of them, Maha fraud. Every one of them. Every single one of them. Every single one of them. At best, every one of them's a fraud and a scammer. At worst, they're also a pedophile. So it goes all the way from, on one end of the spectrum, you got scammer, and then it goes all the way to pedophile. So you got everything in between. So you got on one end, you got scammer, and because it starts at scammer, and then it goes all the way to pedophile. So, you know, if you're looking for an ISKCON guru or any kind of these gurus, the best you can do is a scammer, and then the worst you're going to do is you're going to have a pedophile scammer. It's Vedic. It's Vedic, Prabhu. Yeah, you got all these you got a bunch of white people going over to India, cosplaying as a Swami, and then preaching to the Indians that it's Vedic. Now tell me that's not some white supremacy shit. You know, it's always white supremacy. It's always it's always the story about how the white people can do it better. Dances with Wolves. The white guy can be a better Indian than the Indian, the samurai guy. Tom Cruise, he can go be better Japanese samurai guy than the Japanese can. It's the white guy. The guy, Brad Pitt, he goes to Tibet. He can be a better Tibetan monk than a Tibetan monk. It's the Tarzan syndrome. Because it's older than Tarzan. It's the white guy can go and be better at whatever it is that the native people are doing. The white guy is better at it. The Tarzan. The white guy goes into the jungle. The white baby born in the jungle. He's better at living in the jungle than the people that live in the jungle. Just because he's white. Just because he's white. Somehow, just because of the white guy ends up in the jungle. He's better at the jungle than all the jungle people. And the white guy that goes out and dances with wolves, he's a better Indian than the Indians. And the samurai guy, the white guy that goes to Japan, he's a better samurai than the Japanese guys. Isn't that funny? Isn't it funny how the white guy, the white guy's always better? The white guy's always better. Probably manipulated the Gita a lot. Probably manipulated everybody, including the Gita and everybody. Yeah, welcome, man. I'm glad you're here. Please like, share, and subscribe while you're here. Please, I need it, man. I need help at getting over the hump. It's voodoo. It's voodoo. Oh man, I know. Gorahari, man. He's always speaking ill on Narayan Maharaj. He's always speaking ill on Narayan Maharaj because their Sangha is a criminal organization aimed to abuse women, taught by Prabhupada himself. He's the leader. Yeah, but. Okay. He's always speaking ill on Narayan Maharaj because their Sangha is a criminal organization aimed to abuse women. Well, tell me that Gorahari is not abusing hot lips. Tell me Gorahari is not abusing that hot lips and all the women in his Sangha, all the women in his thing. He's preaching the same shit he's preaching the same shit. Oh, did I miss something about his? Oh, yeah, I did. I follow Tantra. I'm from India. I got my mom out of the cult. She has been following it for the longest. Hey, wow, man. I'm glad. Hey, man, that's what we all need is some good news. We all need good news, and that's like some good news. I'm glad I said. Yeah, glad your mom's out of the cult, man. Are you in the Sri Vidya Sampradaya? Yeah, and and like I said, I'm not here to knock anybody's culture or upbringing, religion. It's he lives on Section 8 in Alachua, it seems. 50-50 Swami. Yeah, isn't that funny? 50-50. 50-50 Swami. 50-50 Swami, man. I know devotees who are paying low rent, free rent in Alachua, city of devotees and scammers. Yep. Everywhere. You run into them everywhere. 50-50 Swami. Yeah, every now and then I come up with a good one. I got to tell you, every now and then I come up with a good one. But yeah, these guys want to be 50-50 Swami. They want, and it is. It's attractive when you see Prabhupada sitting on the seat, or any guru, any of these gurus. When I was in high school, it was the Maharishi. He had long hair and he had a beard, and he'd sit there, and this is back, before I was a kid. It was before cable TV, and he would come on TV on some weird channel, and he'd be sitting there, and some of you old timers that are watching, that are here, will know what I'm talking about. And it was the Maharishi Mahesh Yogi, the Beatle, the one with the Beatles, and he'd be on TV, And he'd be sitting there and he'd be lecturing. And he'd have all these people around him, everyone's sitting there, and he would be sitting there, and he'd be laughing because he was like he laughed. He'd be like, and I remember him, and he was like, and he was the only one that was on TV back then, and he was the only one. He it just looked. He just looked like, wow. He's got the, like these preachers, like these religious preachers. This is like, they're up there and they're like preaching and they know what they're talking about, and everybody's like, ooh. And he had that. He was like this guru, and he was the beard and the flowers and the whole thing. And it's like, wow, I wish I was smart and I knew about stuff and people wanted to hear me. I mean, I can understand where it's attractive to see someone like that. And I can see where it rubs off on people, like my friend Radha Kund. And I met other people too, that they wanted to be that person. Wanted, like that Tattva Darshan guy. He wants to be, who is he? He knows better than we do what kind of person he is. He knows the things that he's done in the past. He knows the things that are going on in his head today. He knows it better than we do. And he still wants to sit up there and be the holy man. And I'm going to teach you. And I'm going to say, Prabhupada did this and Prabhupada did that. And we should do this. And Krishna and Lord Chaitanya's movement and all this. He knows better than we do what a scam he is. And he still wants to sit up there. He's not even 50-50 Swami. He's like 30-70 non-Swami. He's only like 30% Swami. But he still wants to sit up there. He's like 90-10. He's like 90-10 Swami. He still wants to sit up there. The guys that know, that's like what I'm saying. My friend Radha Kund knew. Radha Kunda knew. He had no business sitting up there lecturing, but you know what? He didn't give a fuck. I'm going to sit up here and lecture, and I'm going to act like I'm friggin'... I'm gonna sit up here and act like, hey, I'm Radha Kund. Just like this freaking Tattva. Well, Radha Kunda was. I don't know that he wasn't a criminal like Tattva Darshan. He was just a scammer. So I don't know. I even saw a devotee cop one day in Alachua, quite disturbing. A devotee cop one day. I would not trust that guy at all. How you trust a devotee cop? You know that devotee cop is dishonest? You know he's letting devotees get away with shit? You know he ain't being honest? Fuck that. I'd say, well, you can't let this guy be a... Do you know what's in the books that this guy, the shit that this guy believes in? No. They don't get to be cops. You can jump around and chant Hare Krishna down in Venice Beach, but you don't get to be a cop. The shit that you do. I'm in no sampradaya, just worship a fierce tantric god and chant different mantras of that god based on what I want. Yeah, sounds good to me. I mean, hey, that makes you happy. That makes you happy. That sounds like that's what everybody should do. Everybody should just do whatever they want like that. You don't have to be part of anything or do anything. Who's to say what, you know? But if you're part of a pedophile cult that's preaching all kinds of wacky shit, for the best, the best you can do is a scammer, and the worst you can do is a pedophile scammer. That's something you don't want anything to do with. That's something you don't want anything to do with, you know. Alachua, yeah, it's that. Man, I don't even want to think about that. The goofy chanting for hours on end was a red flag right from the start. Yeah, you know, well, if you look at it as meditation, it's not, you know, and the way I looked at it is like I was raised in a Catholic house. We weren't devout Catholics, but we were Catholic. My mom had a rosary, and she would chant. She would say the rosary every night. We'd go to a funeral or something, and she'd say the rosary, or something would happen, and she'd get her rosary. And not when I was little. When she got older, she gave that stuff up. But when I was little, she had her rosary beads. And so rosary beads and praying on rosary beads from being Catholic, that was part of that was not weird to me. So when Hare Krishnas were like, well, we chant on these beads, it wasn't as wacky as to someone who's not exposed to rosary beads, I guess. I mean, for me, it doesn't seem that wacky. It just didn't seem 8 hours a day chanting, that's a little excessive. But the idea of beads and saying a prayer on a bead wasn't that wacky to me. It's the if you know, you know, Swami Jammy. If you know, you know. When you're hot, you're hot. And when you're not, you're not. Yep, rocket. Rocket. Alachua, Florida. Alachua, Florida is a hotbed for cults. Yeah, there it is. Chanting all day and no results ever. And that's the thing about chanting is that, they say you got to develop a taste for chanting and all of these, the I forget the Sanskrit word for it, but you get this taste, and the taste never comes. And it's because you're chanting offensively, or chanting like this, or you're not focusing on the words, or you're not chanting in the morning, or you're not chanting in the evening, or you're whatever it is. It's just never enough. It's just never enough. But at the same time, it's all powerful, and it's this, and it's the representative of Krishna, and it's the God in the holy name, and it's dancing on your tongue, and it relieves all symptoms, and it does this, it does that, it does all of these things. At the same time, if you don't do it exactly right, you don't get shit from it. So there's like that video says, there's just a lot of flaws. Chant every day for 50 years and see the difference. Yeah, right? I mean, come on, I chanted for 20 years, and I'm going to tell you, now the brainwashing works to where you're into the chanting, but is it doing anything? That's the question. You can condition yourself to chant. I remember when I left and I stopped chanting, I was like, what do I do? Because I was always trying to make time for chanting. I got to get some rounds in. I was either in the morning or in the afternoon, after work, before work, on my break time. All of a sudden, I didn't have that no more. I wasn't trying to get rounds in. I had time. I had time to do all kinds of stuff. I wasn't reading. I wasn't going to the temple. I had so much time on my hands, I didn't know what to do. And I literally didn't know what to do because all I knew what to do was chant, go to the temple, and read. And I wasn't doing any of those things. So it was, I think we all know what that's like. I don't know. I guess we can all relate. Fake it till you make it, a popular mantra back in the day. They're still faking it to this day. Yeah, fake it till you make it. And that's what I'm talking about, 50-50 Swami. 50-50 Swami is basically fake it till you make it. I'll fake it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or I'll fake it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then I can make it on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, or whatever, and I'm back to faking it. They're always faking it. They're not actually making it. They're faking it. I'm not gonna fake it on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and Thursday, and then Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I'm gonna fake it. Radhakund was faking it when he was on the Vyasasan giving lectures. The other time he wasn't faking. He was just being Robert Wadlow. He was being Robert Wadlow Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, or Friday, Saturday, Sunday, he was Radhakunda, but he was just faking it. he wasn't really a holy man. If he was really a holy man, he'd be a holy man Monday through Sunday, not 50-50 swam. And definitely justice for little girls. This Tattva Darshan would not be sitting up there giving a lecture. How can you sit there and say, how can this pod guy or Madhu Pandit or any Yashodanandan or any of these guys say that they are doing anything for the children of ISKCON? They're protecting anybody, they're doing anything when they're promoting this Tattva Darshan guy. I highly doubt the Maha Mantra because it doesn't even start with Om. Every mantra in Hinduism starts with Om. Moreover, it's just one mantra. Tantra has different mantras for different use. Yeah, it's all comes from Prabhupada. It's all whatever Prabhupada wanted, whatever Prabhupada said, whatever he felt like. If he felt like this, then it was this. Prabhupada said 16 rounds. Why 16? It's because that's what he decided to say. He could have said 18 rounds. He could have said 20 rounds. Prabhupada could have said 24 rounds. I want all my disciples to chant 20. He could have said 14. He could have said 12. He could have said, I want all my disciples. It's whatever he said. Prabhupada said 16. 16. Whatever he said, whatever he wanted. Prabhupada said, do this. Offer the lamp, and it was 3 times this way, and then 2 times, 3 times like this, 2 times like this, 3 times down here, and then do it all. It's whatever Prabhupada said. It doesn't follow any Vedic whatever. It doesn't matter. There could be a Purana that says you got to worship the deity like this with rose water or whatever. And Prabhupada would say, no, you don't have to do that. That was a different age and a different whatever. We do it with coconut water. We do it with coconut. Whatever Prabhupada says. If Prabhupada says white dhoti, white. If he says yellow dhoti, yellow. If he says whatever he says, it doesn't matter. I'm still puzzled. How could anyone believe in such faux holy man in saffron robes? When I went to Kashi, I saw a lot of fake sadhus and holy men wandering aimlessly near the ghats. Fake holy men.
The freedom to question old ideas. The concept of divine justice in Hinduism is also confusing. Some stories portray gods who punish innocent people to teach lessons or reward morally questionable actions because they benefit the gods. For example, tales where gods deceive demons or grant boons that later cause destruction. These actions blur the line between justice and manipulation. If divine beings are supposed to be all-knowing and moral, why would they rely on trickery? If they cannot maintain order without loopholes and deception, then they do not appear divine at all. They appear like characters in ancient dramas designed to entertain or warn, not actual rulers of the universe. Another strange idea is the belief that chanting specific sounds creates cosmic power. Followers say that certain mantras have the ability to influence destiny or heal illness. But no scientific study has shown that chanting can change physical reality. The sound waves created by chanting travel a few feet and then fade.
Okay, so hey, I'm not knocking. I'm not trying to knock your mantras. This person obviously doesn't know what they're talking about. Doesn't know what they're talking about. But what we're talking about is this idea that this Hare Krishna mantra does anything at all, let alone what Prabhupada says it does. Now, chanting mantras can make you happy. They can make you happy. They can make you peaceful. They can do a lot of things for you. There's no argument there. But do they do that? But does the Hare Krishna mantra do what Prabhupada says it does, and is it Vedic the way Prabhupada says it is, that is something that needs to be discussed. That is something, and I'm not a Vedic scholar, so I can't tell you. I don't have the answers to that. But I just wanted to know that I'm not knocking people that want to chant mantras or chant anything. It's not. That's not the point of this. So I wanted to make that clear. Hold on. Here we go.
Cure diseases or twist the laws of physics. Yet many people trust chants more than medical treatment. This creates real harm when people avoid doctors and rely on rituals instead. The idea of sacred numbers is also common. Certain numbers are believed to be lucky or holy because ancient priests claimed they had magical importance. People repeat prayers a set number of times, walk around temples in specific patterns, or place objects in the home according to astrological advice. But mathematics does not support the idea that numbers have spiritual power. A number is a symbol created by humans. It has no control over nature. The belief that numbers can please gods or improve luck is simply superstition with no foundation in reality. Many Hindu beliefs revolve around pleasing gods in order to gain blessings. This creates a transactional view of spirituality. If a person performs 1,000 offerings, they expect success. If they skip a ritual, they fear misfortune.
Okay. Yeah, I think we can all. I think we can all understand that. What is this? And that dirtbag punk rock singer trying to recruit everyone into that crap. Yeah, I agree. All of them. And if they don't know the crap that they're recruiting, if they think that, I mean, I don't understand how anyone. Well, I do. I guess I do. I didn't understand it. I didn't understand it completely the way I understand it now. I just didn't. So I can understand how they don't know, but they do know. They know about the pedophilia. They know about the racism. They know about the sexism. They know about the controversies. They know about the hatred, the racism, and what Prabhupada said about blacks, what Prabhupada said about Jews, what Prabhupada said about Hitler, what Prabhupada said about women. They know that stuff. Everybody knows that stuff. And if you don't, shame on you. What are you doing? How can you call yourself a Hare Krishna when you haven't read the books? You haven't been paying attention. You obviously haven't been paying attention. If you haven't realized that this is a pedophile cult full of extremist ideas, then you're not paying attention to what they're teaching. You're not reading Prabhupada's books. You got to know what Prabhupada says about women and how they have small brains and they're less intelligent and they're Maya and they cause problems and children and unwanted children and feminism is bad. You got to know that. There's no way you can be reading Prabhupada's books and you don't know that. There's no way you can be a Hare Krishna and not know about the child abuse in this cult. There's no way. You just can't. And if you don't, shame on you. Shame the fuck on you. If you don't know about the child abuse in this cult that you joined, shame on you. You need to know. You need to find out. You can watch my videos if you have to, but you don't even have to do that. You can just find out. If you don't know about the child abuse in this cult that you joined, shame the fuck on you. If you don't know about what these gurus have been doing, falling down, the history about these gurus with their heads getting chopped off and machine guns and drugs and little girls and gurus running off with little girls and gurus with little boys and molested, shame the fuck on you. Why don't you know about this shit? If you don't know about it. If you don't know about this stuff, it is easy to find this shit online. There's no excuse. No fucking excuse. And I'm out here spilling the beans. I'm yelling it from the rooftops every friggin' day if I can. I'm out here ringing the bell in the town square. Not that I'm tooting my own horn, but I'm ringing my own bell. I'll say that, I'm ringing my own bell. So you know, I know that for the last year and a half, if you go to YouTube and you type in Hare Krishna Cult, my video is gonna pop up. All these guys, the wisdom of the sages, those two idiots. Everyone who chants a lot is a piece of work. Haven't met one who is. I know, man. That is a sign. If someone's carrying a bead bag around with them, that's a nut. That's a bona fide friggin' nut. That's a nut. Yes, and his T-shirt, but his shelter. Those guys. You know, the white privilege, the white supremacy, the fact that these two white guys think that they're going to teach Hinduism or they're going to teach Vaishnavism or they're going to teach anything about Indian culture or Vedic culture. It's laughable and it's just offensive. It's like, who are you? You think you're going to sit there and teach you, like, you guys are like, you want Indians or anybody to accept what you have to say about their own religion or their own culture? You're going to be out of your mind. And that makes sense. That's why Indians Indians in India have this, or Indians anywhere, have this look down at the Hare Krishna. They're like, who are you? You white people been in our country for hundreds of years, fucking it up, left and right, center, and this jackoff writes these books, and now you guys think you're gurus. You're gonna come over here, our country, open up temples, and you want us to worship you? When you came over here 200 years ago, fucked our country up, stole our gold, stole our jewels, worked us to shit, made slaves out of us, destroyed our temples, did all this bullshit, exploited our resources, exploited our labor. We finally kick your asses out. We finally get rid of you. We finally get rid of you white pieces of shit. And now this jackoff writes some books, and now you guys, we're supposed to now worship you guys again? You're going to come back? We thought we got rid of you. Now you're back with all this fucking Krishna shit? The fuck out of here, that shit. Piece of work, criminal, fanatical, spiritual fraudsters, fake it till they make it. Fucking criminal, fanatic, spiritual. They want to act like they're holy men. You come over to our country and you fuck up our country. Now you're gonna take our religion and take our culture, and you're gonna cosplay as gurus, as sannyasis, and you want us to get down and worship your fucking feet. Man. Yeah, you gotta be out of your mind, man. Look at that. I don't dancing with a monkey. Everyone who has a brain left has quit this cult. You know, they make new people all the time. That's what it gets me, man. It gets me. Sometimes I think, you know, this is a dying cult. Do I really need to do these videos? No, these people are joining every day. They have these festivals. If they weren't selling books and doing all this, they wouldn't be having these festivals. They wouldn't be out having Roth Yatra in Venice Beach if they weren't making money at it. It costs them money to lug those carts down there and set up that thing and do all what they do. And people are joining this shit every day. People are joining. People are getting these books, and man, but you're right. A lot of people have left. A lot of the old timers have left because it chews them up and spits them out. It burns them out. It fries them out. Nobody wants to push a shopping cart of books around a parking lot for 8 hours a day and then chant and all this crap. I mean, after a while, just that is enough to drive people out of it. What to speak of you start to realize that this is a pedophile cult. I didn't realize that this is a pedophile cult, and these gurus are fucking disgusting pieces of shit. That's the awakening that most people, these gurus are pieces of shit. This Gora Hari, this Sri Dayananda, this Brian Tibbetts guy, this Hugh Turvey guy, these guys are big pieces of shit. And this Gora Hari, man, he makes me so fucking sick. Those punk rock fans did their research. Those guys, man, those guys make me sick. All these people on there, I was one of them. When I got into Hare Krishna, I started doing my service. I was doing a public access show, broadcasting in LA on public access, Hare Krishna's preaching. So I did it. I was doing it. I didn't know. I had no idea. I had no idea that these guys were friggin' scammers and abusers and pedophiles. I had no idea. Absolutely no idea. I believed the bullshit. I believed that they were a holy man, a guru, sannyasi. Prabhupada was pure devotee. Lord Chaitanya, the transcendental golden age, demon heads eating the moon. I was preaching. I had a public access television program in 1993, 94, 95, whatever. I was doing it. And maybe subconsciously that's why I'm so into what I'm doing now, because I'm like trying to make up for what I did. I don't know what's going on in my head, but I am like, there's a lot of reasons why I'm doing this, but that's probably part of it. Is I do feel bad for my taking part in this bullshit. Absolutely, I do. Saffron bad boys, yeah. This. The Saffron gangsters, yeah. The Watsika boys. The Watsika boys. Radhadasi, Susan Town. I want to see a video. I haven't seen that video. I looked for the video of she's acting like she's something different because her parents are Prabhupada disciple scammers since the early days. It's oh, you don't think they did their research? That makes sense. You don't think they did their research? She needs to be outed for preaching a scam, and she said it's okay to beat women. That's weird. I don't know. That's just crazy, Cops, doctors, lawyers, these brainwashed clowns are unfortunately in lots of places on top of the pile. 50-50 swamis. Yeah, like me. I was working at American Express. I was a travel agent at American Express. I was still a Hare Krishna. I was a Ritvik. I was a Hare Krishna. So yeah, they're and I would run into Hare Krishnas every now and then. Like this guy that was working this parking lot. Actually, he was working for a movie studio. And he was working the parking lot where they were parking the trucks and the trailers and everything. And I was parking my car to go to work. And he was a Hare Krishna, and he was working in the parking lot parking cars or whatever. And he saw my neck beads, and I saw his neck beads, and he was like, "Hey, Hare Krishna." And I was like, "Hey, Hare Krishna." And he was like, "Jai Prabhupada." And I was like, "Yeah, Jai Prabhupada." And, but that's just that you show they're everywhere. They're everywhere, running around, thinking weird things, thinking women like to be raped and have small brains. Otherwise, what is it? Prem Pradeep Das Brahmachari is now rocking a six-pack body, building every day in the ashram. Bodybuilding every day in the ashram. He likes to seduce women and act like he's a saint, typical Hare Krishna fake monk. They're so fake. Yeah, there were a couple guys in L.A. They weren't bodybuilders, but they were Hare Krishnas, but they were like ladies, man. They always like really smooth with the young women. I don't want to say young girls, but they were really smooth. And now that I think about it, they were probably seducing them and dating them or seducing them and who knows what. But there were a couple, and they were younger. They were like Gurukuli. They were like grown Gurukuli kids that like were lead kirtan or do something. But they were always hanging out with the ladies, and they always seemed to be have something going on with women. Like they were smooth. They were just really smooth. The singer with the album cover where he's wearing leather Nike shoes while preaching vegetarianism. Yeah, I don't know that much about those guys, but this is hilarious. Yeah, I don't know too much about those guys, but I don't like those guys at all. It's a disgusting religion, man. It is. People don't realize how disgusting it is because it's such a facade of Hinduism. It's like it's just a Hindu temple. Like we're just a Hindu temple. Like I go to Bangkok and there's like a Hindu temples, right? And you go to the Hindu temple and there's a Hindu temple not far from me, and it's just like a Hindu temple. There's nothing going on there. It's empty. There's like one person walking around. And there's some music playing. There's nothing going on. And every now and then somebody walks in and they're like, "Oh." And they leave. And that's it. Hare Krishna temple is completely different. But it looks like a Hindu temple because you go inside, it looks the same. It's got the same statues, flowers, bell, the music's playing, maybe there's a restaurant there. Looks harmless to me. What's so disgusting about it? Oh, what do you mean there's a bunch of pedophiles? I don't see any child abuse going on. I don't see anything happening going on. Well, yeah. Like I said, even Ramananda Roy took those two young girls to a secluded place. He wasn't going to do that right in front of everybody. What the fuck? An 11-year-old Prabhupada bride who cried. And these Hare Krishnas, man, they don't care. They don't care that she was 11 and that she got pregnant at 12 or however, and he was 22. And that she cried and he laughed. And it's pretty disgusting what he says. He says, he's explaining how over time you learn how to do something. That's the point he's making. How in the beginning it's difficult, but over time you learn. You learn. But he says, so it pops into his head, hey, analogy. It's just like when I was raping my 11-year-old bride. Of course, at first when I took her hand, she cried. But, over time, as I kept raping her, she learned that it was okay and that she stopped crying after a while. That's what he's saying. That's the context. If you want to say, hey, you're taking it out of context. Oh, you want to know what the context is? I'll tell you what the context is. The context is he's explaining how over a period of time you learn to like something or you learn how to do something. And so he says, just like my 11-year-old bride, the first time she didn't like it and she cried. But over time, as I kept raping her, she got used to it. That's what he's saying. And he's laughing about it. He's explaining and describing what he did with his 11-year-old bride to his grown men disciples and then laughing about it. And if that doesn't make you want to just throw up, I don't know what does. I just don't. It's fucking disgusting. It's disgusting what he did. It's disgusting that he thought of it as an analogy to how you teach somebody something. That's disgusting. And it's disgusting that he shared it with his disciples as a way of teaching them transcendental knowledge. Hey, did I ever tell you about the time I raped my 11-year-old bride? Let me tell you. Come sit down and let me tell you about that. The fact that it would even pop into his head, and then to use it as a teaching. This will be a good teaching. Let me teach them, about marriage and 11-year-old bride. I don't know what the fuck he was trying to teach them. Disgusting. Fucking, that's disgusting. It's disgusting no matter how you friggin' look at it. It's disgusting. When he touched her hand. Yeah, she cried. Why did she cry? If you're just touching her hand. Why would she cry? Because you're touching her hand. He wasn't touching her hand. He said he's touching her hand, but we know what he was doing. He wasn't just touching her hand. He says touching her hand because he's trying to be nice about it. The fact that she's crying tells you that he wasn't touching her hand. There's no reason to cry because he touched her hand. Unless he touched her hand every time before he did that, and then when he touched her hand, she knew, oh boy, here we go again. This is disgusting. And then you got Tatva Darshan sitting there. He went to Phnom Penh so he could get himself a 12-year-old girl, and just like his guru did. Yeah, my guru can do it. Claiming he's a pure devotee. Yeah, he says there was never a time when I wasn't thinking about Krishna. Well, were you thinking about Krishna when you took your 11-year-old bride's hand? Were you thinking about Krishna then? You're gonna tell me, these freaks are worshiping. You go back to that little video that I was watching. This video that I'm watching. Okay, and you go, okay. Thousands of years ago there were these stories, and they were worshiping these. They're not worshiping. They were protecting these cows because they were getting butter and milk or whatever for them. So they're a little cultural tribe 5,000 years ago in Afghanistan somewhere. They're like, hey, we don't kill we don't eat the cow. They weren't eating cows. They were just drinking the milk or whatever. And so that's how that whole thing got started. Stories about these people that protect cows and they don't eat cows and whatever, and they don't. So you know what? Now, thousands of years later, they don't eat cows. They don't eat cows in India. And some other story about this little boy who was having sex with all these little girls down by the river, and he had like a bunch of girlfriends, and he was having sex with them down by the river. And that was another story. And then they started, that's a god, or that's some kind of god. Oh, and what about this other guy that did this, and this other guy with an elephant head, or whatever? And these stories start popping up, and they start to make sense of these stories, putting them into some kind of, trying to make sense. This is what happened. This is called human civilization. This is called the history of the world. This is what happened. Some people built pyramids. Some people built whatever, you know. Some people had stories about guys floating in clouds. Some people had stories about who knows what. These people had stories about a guy that was having sex with a bunch of girls. And they worshiping that guy. They thought that was cool. And maybe it was cool. Who knows? But now, in today's world, people that are worshiping that guy that had sex with all the little girls, those people tend to be pedophiles. For some reason, there's an epidemic of pedophilia running through that cult. Wow. Who would have thought? Who would have thought that would happen? That the founder of the cult would have sex with an 11-year-old girl when he was 22, and then tell his disciples about it and laugh about it. And that guy, he worships a little boy that has sex with a bunch of women down at the full moon at the Rasa dance, called the Rasa dance. And he has like a bunch of these girlfriends, and there's a story where he multiplies into many people so that he can have sex. Well, we'll make that up later. First, it's just a big orgy, but then we'll clean it up by saying that he becomes it's just one-on-one, because over time the orgy thing might be a little much. So now we'll just say that he magically becomes a bunch of people and he has sex with everyone individually, because that orgy thing, you know, maybe we want to change that up, you know. Who knows? 1,000 years ago? 1,000 years ago? Or 2,000 years ago? Hey, it's N. How you doing, N? Glad to see you here. I know we're about to end it here. The Hare Krishna Maha Mantra does nothing. That's proven by many of us who left. Yeah, and not only that, but those that are still in it are proof that it doesn't do anything, because they're the same people that they were when they joined. They're even worse. They're worse people. Look, if you go into the Hare Krishnas and you're like a normal person, you start chanting Hare Krishna, reading these books, all of a sudden you're like Tattva Darshan. You're getting massages by 12-year-old girls in Phnom Penh, looking for a 13-year-old wife that you can take to India and marry. Got a guru that ran off with a 13-year-old girl, or a guru that hangs out with little girls in bikinis, a guru that, who knows? Makes no sense. It makes no sense. A normal person presented with all the facts, just the facts, would say, get the fuck away from me with that bullshit. You got to be out of your fucking mind. Fake monkeys. Hey, Travis. I hope you're in the right room. I don't know if you're in the right. Fake monkeys. Yeah. These gurus are fake monkeys, man. These gurus are worse than monkeys, because monkeys aren't telling people to worship them as good as God, and that they can give them some kind of transcendental knowledge and take them back to the Go planet, to the Goloka Vrindavan, where the cows are, and they can have a body of like, monkeys don't do that. These guys are worse than monkeys. It's a circus. It's a total circus. It's a total friggin' circus. Hey, Travis. I'm glad you're here, man. I'm glad you're here. Please like, share, and subscribe. And I'm trying to get these videos out, and I got a lot of new people here, so it's really good. Yeah, it's a scam. It's a total scam. These gurus are a scam. It's all a fucking scam. It is all a fucking. We are on the same page. It's all a fucking scam. Kiana Sham, good to see you here. Glad to see you're in the room, man. And easy there. I'm vegan. Veganism, yeah. Hey, vegetarianism. You know, hey, no, that's not a scam. But what people eat has nothing to do with anything. Yeah, being vegetarian or vegan. I mean, I don't like being a meat eater, but I do eat a burger every now and then, and I have to say it's more now than then. But I don't like eating. There's certain animals I don't eat. Duck, I won't eat fish. I don't eat. There's a lot of stuff I won't eat. I just won't eat it. I just don't. Now it's basically chicken and a hamburger. I eat chicken and a hamburger every now and then. That's about it. But yeah, who cares? Who cares what people are eating? Nobody cares what you're eating. Only Hare Krishnas care. Only Hare Krishnas care what you're eating. You go anywhere and you sit down and you go, well, I don't eat that. Nobody cares. And nobody, you say, oh, I don't eat. Who cares what you eat? Only Hare Krishnas care. What? Oh, you're eating that? You're going to eat this? It's insane. You know, I don't know enough about. There are a lot of ex-Vrinda Paramadvaiti Swami disciples who were abused by him and his cult. They are making a lot of noise. You know, I don't know any. I know he got caught years ago. I know he got caught. He got exposed as being a scammer, and he was pretty popular. I used to see him around all the time when I was a Hare Krishna. I mean, not see him around, but on the internet, I would see that he had this whole thing going on. And I remember when he got caught, but I don't know the details. I don't know the details of what of everything that he was doing. Really sad times for this religion. People are starting to speak out and realizing it's all a scam. I sure hope so. You know, I want people to be warned so they don't fall into this trap of this cult, because people get sucked into this, man, and it's done. They're done. Like this guy that ended up in India milking a cow. Now he's a Devamrita Swami disciple, and he's gone. His mind is gone. His mind is gone. He came in here, tried to argue with me. That's how fucking mind is gone. He came in and tried to argue with me. Tell me I'm wrong or I'm this or I'm that. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? You argue with me? What the fuck? Shut the fuck up. You know, these guys, and that's the thing. That's the thing, man. They're all disgusting pigs. They're all the same. We want to say Prabhupada was a fraud, a Prabhu fraud. Yeah, you know, we want to say that this guy is disgusting. This guy's this or this guy. Like, for some reason, I want to put Gaurahari in his own category and say Gaurahari is this or that. Or I want to put Hridayananda in a category and go, he's this or he's that. Or I want to put Brian Tibbetts in a category, or Hugh Turvey, or Robert Grant, or Rameshwar, or whoever. Like, somehow that they're all the fucking same. It doesn't matter what they've done. It doesn't matter that Tattva Darshan molested little kids and Gaurahari is mistreating hot lips. I mean, we can say, well, you know, Tattva Darshan went to jail or whatever, right? But basically, they're the same. Gaurahari belongs in jail too. Manipulating these people, abusing hot lips, causing her more mental distress because this shit ain't real. she's going to realize it one day. She's going to realize one day that he has just been taking advantage of her, just like everybody else has been taking advantage of her. And Gaurahari is no different than Sri Dayananda. Sri Dayananda is abusing his people just like Gaurahari is too. No different. Sri Dayananda is selling them the same crap that Gaurahari is selling his people. The same bullshit. And it's just as harmful, it's just as dangerous. It's exactly the same. And Madhu Pandit and Tattva Darshan, they are all the same. And they're selling the same crap. It's the same identical crap. It's just they're the same. They're different waiters in the same restaurant, serving the same crap, serving up the same food. You just got a different waiter. This one's short, that one's tall, this one's fat, this one's skinny. This one speaks Spanish, this one went to Harvard. Hey, do what you gotta do. Stories and dreams. So much in ISKCON is based on dreams and delusional freaks. It is. It's crazy. Yeah, Dave Amrita needs to come back. No, Dave Amrita didn't come on here. His disciple came on here. Dave Amrita's disciple came on here and tried to. Hot Lips has her own channel. Man, what a nightmare that is. It's great. It's great to go viral. It's great to go viral, man. So let me see what else I got here. I think I'm going to end it for today. I'm gonna call it quits. It's great to be back on here. I've been having some computer problems, and I didn't know when I was going to get back on here, but I was able to rig up something, and it's great to be back because I thought I was going to be out of commission for a while, and but evidently this went well. It was kind of like a test run for the new setup I got, and it seemed to be going great. So listen, I want to thank everybody for joining in today. I didn't get to all 16 reasons, so maybe I'll pick up. But the important thing is that you see this guy, and you got to stay away from this guy. This guy is bad news. Bad news. This guy, and Madhu Pandit and Bangalore is I don't know. Stay away from them. They got some shady characters there. So I want to thank everybody for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. All the new people that came in today that I never seen before. I want to thank you for coming in. Travis and who else was here? Fake Human, thank you. Eliana, Rafael, thanks for coming in. Gyani Sham, of course, thank you for coming back. And N and Howard Johnson, everybody, Hayden. Wow, U7V. Thank you for coming in. Thanks for joining in, and everybody watching on the replay. Thanks for watching on the replay, and please like, share, and subscribe. Everybody have a great day, great morning, great afternoon. So I have some great luck. It's great seeing you, man. I feel like I know every one of you personally, and I guess I do. I do know every one of you personally, but I really being on tonight, I wasn't sure if I was going to make it. And coming on and just seeing everybody here has really made my night. So thanks everybody, and for everybody who's new, has never seen me before. Everybody out there, you're watching for the first time. This is me back when I was a Hare Krishna many years ago. Thanks everybody.